If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out. It is day 2 of the Lil Durk federal murder for hire trial. And what's happening right now is that they are putting the lead investigator on the stand. Now, what the lead investigator is doing, he is explaining to the jury the digital footprints, right? The financial records and things like that. The renting of the cars, right? Whose bank account is this? Whose card is this, right? He's breaking all that down for the jury today. And the defense is rebutting everything that he's saying. So we're going to break this demonstration down. It wasn't too much juicy stuff going on today. I got to be 100 with you. But there is one thing that is very important that to me that links all these guys to the murder of Lil Pop. Now, one of the things that is very important in this case is they got to connect the finances for the murder for hire, right? So in doing so, the lead investigator came out today and said the card that was used to rent the hotels linked directly to Lil Durk's bank account. The card that was used to rent the cars that helped commit the murder of Lil Pop is linked to Lil Durk's bank account. But not only that though, they have video footage or a photo of Lil Durk at the rental car place. Lil Durk is there. But what they don't have is Lil Durk driving those vehicles. You see? But they have all his co-conspirators driving those vehicles, and they can prove that without a shadow of a doubt. So what they are trying to do with this information right here is link all these guys together. They got the picture or the photo of Lil Durk in the rental business with the manager or the person that rent the cars. He's there, right? The same cars, the rental cars that was used to commit the murders. It's from this same rental business. Now, not only that, the BMW had a GPS tracker on it. And they tracked this vehicle going back and forward to Lil Durk's rental property in California at least 15 times. Not only that though, this GPS tracking monitor tracked these guys in this car when the murder happened, when they was following Quando Rondo, and also when they went to the burger joint, the In and Out. Now, the crucial part, right? I'm talking about the part that I told y'all that links them all to the murder of Lil Pop is this right here. Remember, the video footage of the murder is in 4K. There's no question about it. The clothing that these boys got on, the same clothes that they used to kill Lil Pop, is the same clothes that they have on. Shirt, pants, shoes, hats. Is the same clothes they got on at the In and Out burger joint. How you gonna get around that? That's tough. The same exact clothes. So even though they had the ghosts on, they had the mask on and all that, they are identifying these guys. Hey, look, that's him with them shoes on. Hey, that's him right there, you know, with the shirt on, with the sweat on. That's him right there with them type of jeans on. The exact same clothes. How are you going to get around that? That's going to be tough. Because now here it is. It's almost as if they might as well did it without a mask, because the clothes that they got on is telling on them. These detectives matched the clothes so cold-blooded. OTF Jam had a name brand clothing that is only worn or sold in Chicago. A clothing line that is only sold in Chicago. Jam had those pants on. That's how they connected him. Cold-blooded demonstration. So now it's the defense turn. Brian Steele get up there. He's cross-examining the lead detective. One of the main things that he focused on was the guys that took pleas, the guys that are finna be testifying against Lil Durk and his co-defendants. He asked the detective, did you interview this guy? Yes. How many times you interviewed him? I'll say about 30 times. So you should have 30 recordings of all those interviews. Nah, I don't. What? What you mean you don't have that? I got a couple of them. We usually don't record all the interviews. That's shaky. So then he asked them about the other guys that will be testifying. Vonnie, Flocka. You interview those guys? Yeah, we interviewed them. How many times? 10, 15 times. How many recordings do you have? We got like 1, possibly 3. That don't look right. That don't look right at all. And I see what Brian Steele is trying to do. He's showing doubt, right? How could the jury trust these guys? Yeah, they detectives and all that, but we understand that detectives lie. How can we trust them when they sat down with these guys over 50 times, 50 interviews, and they ain't even got 10 interviews total? That don't make no sense. Anybody that has ever been interrogated before, you understand the first thing that the detective want to do is click. They want to record everything. Yeah, if it's not on the record in front of you, it's in the sky. It's by the camera. They want to record everything. So with them not recording this stuff, now Brian Steele in closing arguments, now he can come out and say, hey man, look, how do we know these guys ain't coerced these guys? How do we know that the lead detective didn't coerce Jam, didn't coerce Flocka and Vonnie? How do we know that? We don't know. Because they didn't record everything. And so we got to trust that. You see what I'm saying? So I see what he's doing. And that was a cold-blooded play, though. Because what he's trying to do, he's trying to establish reasonable doubt in the minds of the jury to let them know, hey, look, these detectives are not to be trusted. We can't trust his testimony now. We can't trust the interviews that they did record it, because you got to look at it. What made the interviews that y'all recorded so special? And those are the ones that y'all are going to use. But the ones that y'all didn't record, or at least y'all say y'all didn't record, y'all ain't got no type of information, no notes or none of that. That's unusual for detectives, especially a lead detective. Police taking notes and, asking questions and, hey, it don't sound right. And being that they wasn't recorded, now Brian Steele and the other attorneys, they can come out and say, hey man, y'all help these guys lie on Durk. Y'all help them fabricate these stories against Durk. Like, what is y'all talking about? You see what I'm saying? What did these guys say before the ones that you recorded? Was these guys saying, hey man, we didn't have anything to do with this, we don't know what's going on, right? Or in the recording, was the police saying, hey man, look, all we want is Durk, just give us Durk. If you give us Durk, we'll give you guys leniency, but we just want him. I don't care, make up something, I don't care, just make up anything. As a matter of fact, look, hey, say he did this. Hey, check this out, look at this picture. Say Durk did that. You see what I'm saying? So no, they doing their thing. I gotta give them honors for that. They doing their thing. Now, last but not least, there was some chaos about the text messaging, right? Because the feds is relying on a text message that Durk sent to one of the co-conspirators, and that text said, "Don't book nothing in my name" or something like that, or "Don't put anything under my name," right? And so and so Brian Steele and those guys was asking the lead detective, hey, what about the text before that? Because they trying to put this in context, right? I don't know what that is. No, wait a minute. There was a link sent. Do you know what that link is? Nope, I don't know what that link is. Okay, what about this text before that text? I don't know what that is. Okay, well, what about this text right here that says, "Don't put nothing in my name"? Oh yeah, I know what that is. That right there is because he tried to be discreet. He didn't want to, you see? And so they're like, nah, how do you come up with that? You know, but you don't know nothing else about the text before that text or the text after that text, but you just take that text right there and now all of a sudden you put that and say, oh, he was trying to be discreet. He was trying to hide himself. You know, he didn't want nothing to connect back to him as far as them boys catching them flights and renting them cars and them hotels and stuff like that and using his credit cards to commit this murder for hire. So how do you come up with that? Now look, the cold-blooded part about all this, right? I mean, this should scare people to death. And the reason why I say that is because these are the games that police play. Something that simple. They are trying to connect it to this man being in cahoots with a murder for hire. Something that he could have been saying, hey man, look, I don't know if y'all buying weed. I don't know what y'all doing, man. I just don't want no parts of that. But they trying to say, nah, that was him, you know, trying to be discreet. He was trying to hide, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to cover for himself, you know, so he won't be connected to this murder for hire. And that's what they do. That's what they do. So, I mean, like, little stuff like that, they would use it against you and they would get in front of a jury and put on a show out this world and convince a jury that, yeah, that's what that text meant. Yeah, you know what? These guys are right. Yeah, he was trying to be discreet. You see? So that should scare people to death. They play games like this, but you would have to have been through the criminal judicial system to understand this. You would have to have went to trial to understand this. That when you are in the criminal judicial system and they want you, they can conjure up anything they want to and tell the jury. Anything. They can sit in front of that jury right now like they're going to do and say, hey, yeah, that text meant that Lil Durk wanted to hide himself from connecting himself from the murder for hire. They can say that. And it's not illegal for them to say that because that is their assumption. That is what they believe. You can say, man, nah, it wasn't about that. I was just, you know. And they said, nah. Don't listen to him. This is what it was. They telling you what your text meant. You see? Now look. We are fresh in the case. They still breaking stuff down. Just from everything that I have seen so far, and so we done went through, I believe that Lil Durk has to get on the stand. I believe he do. Now, I mean, I can be wrong, but I believe that Lil Durk is going to have to get on the stand if he plans to continue on with the defense that he's doing. As far as, hey, that's on them guys, I ain't had nothing to do with it. I believe that he's going to have to get on the stand and testify to that. And let the jury know, hey, look, check this out. You know, these are some of my friends. I'm not trying to deny that. I do know these guys. I'm not trying to deny that. They had access to my credit cards and stuff like that. I'm not trying to deny that. But this murder thing here, I had nothing to do with that. I don't even know what's going on with this. You know, I mean, he gonna have to come all the way out. That's just my portion of understanding. Because if your lawyers is saying that, hey man, it was these guys, then why shouldn't you? This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.